Excellent. Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, Mary. Thank you so
Hi,
much for coming tonight.
thank you for having me.
Yes, excellent. So, what we usually do is start with an ohm. An ohm contains a frequency which opens and expands the heart as well as aligns each of your higher selves with tonight's channeled session. By allowing each individual here watching throughout time and space to come into this form of alignment. It then allows for different energetic signatures to be radiated through a thought stream. This thought stream, dear ones, may change or enable a higher frequency channeling to presume. Without further ado, we wish for each of you to take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeling session tonight. Thank you so incredibly much for bringing forward the best information that is most in alignment with each individual watching throughout time and space. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, tonight is a full moon,
Yes.
and I know you felt the energies. I have, but it's all been positive today for me. But I know you sent some posts to me.
Yeah.
The first post is Moon Energetics and Evolution. You want me to read some of it?
Sure. Both of the posts is part one and part two. There was an enormous amount of information that came through about the moon assisting our evolutionary process. So please, Mary, read.
The moon helps us evolve because it is assisting an energetic push sort of manifestation. So we know that people release density when it's a full moon. So more crime, more crazy. That's because the solar energies are pulsing off the moon, and that push is discharging our independent energetic grids, which is basically a super form of shadow work. This process allows us to level up super fast because once we release the energetics of things that no longer serves us, it allows for fresh energetics to come into our grid complex. This process allows us to hold or tap into higher frequencies, which changes the way we manifest into the physical reality. Rapid healing may be manifest with full moons, and some cultures even cut their hair during this time for it to grow in thicker. Moon energetics affects the physical reality more than we realize.
Yes. So, as part of full moon ceremonies or even rituals that we as individuals do, it is of high value for each of us to proceed with water activations, as well as different forms of biological cleansing may be facilitated. This, dear ones, is an opportunity for each of you to remove densities or distortions. For the moon's energetic frequency is that of removing any darkness in your energetic field. Any, it's kind of like any cycle repeat that each of us are going through. So if you guys have anything that's like cycling over and over again in your life that you are trying to heal and you may feel like stagnant energy is there, Now is the time to place focus and attention on that. The more and more we place the focus and attention on these different topics, and we start to use the moon's energy, that actually works in our benefit because it turns into an external circumstance. Now, what that means is the energy of the full moon is going to assist us in any healings that we are placing the focus on. So, for example, you may wish to take uh, even a journal and a piece of paper and write down whatever it is that you're focused on healing and do a fire purification ceremony during the full moon's energy. Or we do water blessings and purifications. So leaving water outside to sit in the moon's energy allows that water to be encoded with the full moon's energetic frequency. That, dear ones, when you place it in the fridge and you drink it, let's say you have a tiny cup every single day for 30 days, whatever the energy of that particular full moon is going to then be programmed inside the internal circumstances. Now, what that means is that that water, because it comes in the inside of your body, it starts to shift the cell's water and the baseline frequency that you are holding. The full moon is known to release. So if it is releasing the densities and distortions, then by placing our attention on doing specific healings, it allows us to heal much more rapid. So cleaning out the house, releasing items that are no longer wanted, or cutting the hair, or even facilitating body cleanses and purifications. So shaving or body massages, doing things like this to really focus on healing, no matter what it is. You guys can even brush your teeth and then place that focus. Thank you, full moon, for releasing any densities or distortions located within the teeth. The more and more we start to focus on healing the body and we use what we have. So the full moon's energy is what we have right now. Let's use that to our benefit. Now, this particular full moon is in Capricorn. What this means from my level of awareness is that if things come up because of this particular full moon, maybe it is meant for us to go inwards and recalibrate our emotions without actually placing the focus and attention on the outside reality. Now, that's one of the harder things to do because if any of you guys have noticed any significant changes in your life, or let's say you guys may have gotten triggered, it's important to take that trigger and observe it. And even if you constantly have the thoughts coming in the mind about the trigger and all of the different expressions of the triggering thought, it's an opportunity. And every single trigger is an opportunity for the primary individual, for us, to go inside and start taking all of those dark thoughts. And what the star people have guided me to do is imagine that you're pulling the dark thought and throwing it into a trash bin, a magical trash bin that takes the darkness and turns it into light. And the more and more we start doing this when we are triggered, then all of a sudden we overcome that level of density. And when that happens, that level of density no longer has an effect on us. What that means is this: when a trigger comes in, now all of a sudden you are unmovable because that trigger does not hold any power over you. That is also a part of ascension. When it is okay for you to see the trigger, to observe the trigger, and to be unmovable to the trigger, to hold that level of neutrality. It's okay for this to happen. I comprehend it's in my highest and best, and to just allow it. So, an emotion by its nature has a swing to it because it's a frequency. It can either swing to you or you push it away from you. The more we start to look at emotions like that, when you hold neutral, you're allowing the frequency of the emotion to pass through you without sticking to you. When the emotion sticks to you, we call that an imprint. So it causes trapped emotions located within the body. The more and more we release these trapped emotions, we go into the flow state that allows us to be more fluid in our nature. Then all of a sudden, the emotions no longer stick to us. When that happens, that neutrality activates what is known as a 0 point. That 0 point is a place of neutrality located within the heart's tachyon particles, dear ones. For once each of you fully activate different aspects of your energetic grids, it then allows the higher self to fully blend and bond inside your physical form. This starts with tachyon particles located within your heart's 0 point. There is another 0 point located in front of the pineal gland. This, dear ones, allows for each individual to activate a world among worlds expression. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, dear star people. Beautiful.
Yeah, I love that imaginary trash can. I use it all the time.
Isn't it great? It's like, no, not today.
I do. I use it like every day. If I'm not outside, if I'm outside, I just use Mother Earth. But
Yeah. She takes it back too. She does the same thing. She could take all the darkness and transmutate it all and bring more light, which
yeah,
is
I ask her to
beautiful.
take it out the trash can.
Yeah. She could do it too.
I
Beautiful.
always say, not that I want you to take my trash. I just, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah, transmutated. Well, that's what she
Yep.
does.
Yeah.
She's sending such pure frequencies. And you know, when we sit down, not even sit, when we put our hands and our feet on the ground and we like give Mother Earth access to our energy field, we can ask her to raise the frequency of whatever location we are sitting on. We do this naturally in meditation, for meditation pulls a vortex energy up the physical body and it allows that aura field to then radiate into that frequency level. Mother Earth does the same thing inside of the pyramids. For the pyramids is pyramid. It means fire within. And that fire is a vortex energy. Organite is different layers of organ. It is ooh, I just like that one was out of here. It's organic material layered with inorganic material, a copper spiral, and different crystals. And when we start to use organite, it also generates a vortex spin. That vortex spin is inside each and every one of our chakra systems. For each of the chakras, it kind of looks like a traffic cone. It comes out and then it radiates out in a circular pattern. It is generating a vortex type of energy. The more and the more we start to realize, even the DNA, it spirals up in a vortex. Every plant on the planet grows in a vortex. When we look at the plant over an extended period of time or growth, you can see the plant vortexing as it grows. Vortexes is how nature works. It's how our body works. It's how everything works. There's a spin to it. That's how our springs work. The springs spring the water up and out of the earth itself. So when we start to recognize everything works in a vortex energy, we start to allow that geometry to come into our life. Let's say, for an example, you have now a water bottle, and the water bottle either puts a spin into the water, or you have a container that you're dumping the water in and it generates that spin down and it's collected in a lower casing of the water. That water now contains more electrical voltage and it is more structured in its nature because you have added that spin onto it. Everything works like this. The magnetic resonance of your planets, as well, dear ones, also contains a form of a spin. This is another reason why you may also perceive a type of spin in your solar system, because everything is resonating in a vortex energetic. That vortex energetic is both life giving as well as life taking. For the vortex is of light containing a 0 point in the direct center of that vortex, which then spins into a void energetic. The full moon's energies trigger a void energy, which is the opposite of a life giving vortex. This is of high value, for any densities are also of a void frequency. When your energetic grids are pulsed, so to say, with the void energetic, dear ones, it allows that density to be triggered. This trigger allows each individual to heal, to go through the ascension process more rapidly. 4, that moon is helping humanity ascend at a more rapid rate because of these triggers. It is no wonder it happens once a month in your calendar observation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Yes.
Actually, I have a question. How
Sure.
how important is it to call in source energy every day?
Okay. So the Star People have guided me personally. See, healing, they've given me a whole toolbox of healing modalities. And anytime I do one of the modalities too often, they'll come in and they'll say, now switch it up. Because we don't want to, once again, you want to let the emotions run through you, but we don't, you may choose not to get attached to any one modality. When we choose to not become attached, what that looks like is having multiple and then choosing a random one according to how you feel. That is more in alignment with 5D when we think about it, staying in the now moment and choosing what feels good. Now, we are also guided to not do the gym every day because your body builds up a tolerance to things like this. It is okay to take a break. When we start to talk about calling in the source frequency, there's advantages, is what they've told me, to not calling in the source frequency. And like, because, and this gets like way into it, but there's different modalities where we could connect ourselves to the source frequency and we could like rise all the way up to 5D very, very rapidly and even higher. However, there's advantages to going through the darkness and processing it, because just imagine for 1 second you mastered that emotion code. Every single emotion code manifests something different. This is how we activate the extrasensory abilities. So taking the time, going through all the different emotions, healing all of our stuff is of higher value. That's why we're here. It's not just to level right up and to like, line jump the game. It's to sit here and go through the emotions, unpack the things, and then know who we are. If we didn't have the struggle, it wouldn't make us stronger, right? So calling in the source frequency is similar to that concept, because yes, we can do it. And yes, it feels great. And yes, we could recharge our energy grids very rapidly, very, very rapidly, by just connecting to the source and filling our bodies with love and light and doing it that way. But sometimes it's okay to go through your darkness. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel, even if it's easier said than done sometimes, right? When you're feeling all these emotions and you're processing all the stuff, and yeah, sometimes it feels heavy, and like all of it's part of the human experience. Though the more and more we go through these emotions and we process it, and processing it looks like pulling a string, right? And saying, I'm going to heal this. It doesn't matter what it takes. I'm going to continuously focus on it until I feel it's healed. When you do that, you'll start to notice your life is going to go, and you'll be guided down a path of ascension. That's what I did. And it was like one baby step here. And all of a sudden, I was focused on this topic. And then this topic was healed. And then another topic came. And then that one was healed. Then another topic came. The Star People call this bricks of consciousness. So every single brick of consciousness contains different emotion codes inside of the brick. And what that looks like is going through that brick and all of the problems, all the people, places, and things around that experience comes to you. But it could be multiple experiences in one brick. And then you go through all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, if your energy field is holding enough light, you'll level into the next brick. I personally I've seen the entire civilization have to repeat a brick of consciousness. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like every single one of the people around me, and even my online people, we had all gone through all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, it was like we had to go through it all again. And sometimes that happens because you didn't hold enough light. And the universe was like, you have to repeat the level or repeat the brick of consciousness that you were holding the level of awareness in. That's okay too. Once again, this is all part of learning and mastering our own emotion codes, because when each of us access a full 5D, that is going to allow the color spectrum to change. You may speak a word, and that word is going to instantaneously manifest right outside your door. If you have gone through the learning process of cultivating your thoughts and words so that you are now speaking that positivity, no matter how long it takes, then when you reach that 5D frequency, every word that you speak, you know, is going to manifest something positively. That's because you did the work. And that's what we're being guided to do right now, to do the work. Now, once again, we can come together in groups and help each other and do the work together, which is what we do on the Shadow Work Zoom, right? We come together to dive in and clear energies and dive into emotion codes and all sorts of things. But it's of high value for us, especially tonight's a full moon, right? Like to do the energy clearing and to see what emotions comes up. It's amazing. Yeah.
Box breathing.
Yeah.
Box breathing thing that I have.
Yes, we could do that too. We could do box breath works. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Nancy says she gets confused about the water in a glass or a plastic for the full moon.
Oh, it should be plastic. So, with light ions do not transfer through glass. We know this because we take a look at baby chickens. Baby chickens, when they're together, they're sharing the light ions and it makes the whole group healthy. Well, on this planet, we've had experiences where the farmers removed a sick baby chicken from the group and put them in glass, and then all of a sudden the baby chicken would get, sicker and sicker. But then they found that they would remove the baby chicken and put a plastic covering in between, and the baby chicken would still get healthier and healthier. That is because the light ions passes through plastic, not glass. Now, from the whole spiritual, connected to the land, using glass is of high value because we can identify what is healthier, glass or plastic. That is a judgment, so just be aware of that. But, what are you going to do? The ions pass through plastic. So charge it in the plastic, and then if you want, transfer it to your glass. It's okay. Yeah.
Kearns has a question. He said, very hot in Arizona. I like to freeze water and drink it as it melts at work. Does freezing drinking water matter? I am vibrating strong.
Well, that's amazing because if you hold that water while it's in the water state up to your heart and you send love into the container and then you put it in the freezer, you can send an emotion imprint into the water. Every single emotional imprint that you send, as well as the frequency of the earth on that day, is going to generate a spiral in the water differently. So as you're doing that, try it because you'll start to identify, oh, when I send love, the spiral looks really tight, but I'm sending a different emotional resonance, the spiral looks thicker, right? And you go through that whole process of seeing. Also, if you have things like organite, or even you can have any stone in the shape of a pyramid and you put it next to the water as it's freezing, it also is going to generate that vortex energy. But what the star people are saying is you do not need any external tools. None of that stuff, really. Well, the only thing that you need is the frequency from your heart. Hold it up to your heart and feel unconditional love and send it into the water. And that will show you the proof that you need. After that, then you're going to want to start, experimenting with different emotional imprints. And what that looks like is any experiential can be imprinted into water. For example, let's say you want to have the experience of standing on a beach, watching a golden orange, yellow sunset. You close your eyes as you're holding that water up to your heart and you visualize it and you see it and you feel it and you feel the gratitude for it. And then all of a sudden, you imagine sending that energy into the water and thank the water for holding that imprint. Now, when you drink the water, you have just shifted your magnetic resonance to align you with that beach. And what's going to happen from that point forward is your mirror reflections are going to shift. And what that means is that as you are walking through your day, you may see a beach, you may see TikTok, and then there's that beach. You may see it on the television. Someone may be talking about a beach. You may feel the beach. You may even hear, maybe you see a seashell, and it brings the thought form of the beach. And that is because all of your mirror reflections have now been attuned to that beach. We can do that as well with a candle. Every time we light the candle, we thank the candle for aligning us with that tropical vacation. The more and more we start to focus on shifting our energetic field, we learn how to master our mirror reflections. That's how a body works. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you wear organite on your wrist? Yeah, I just got these. I just did intentions with all of these crystals today. It's so awesome.
Beautiful.
I felt it in my heart when I did them.
What
Um,
kind of crystals are they?
this one is shunite.
Mm-hmm.
This one is moonlight. I mean, moonlight, moonstone.
Ah,
And this one is tourmaline, black tourmaline, and jade.
beautiful.
And then I have tourmaline and clear quartz right here.
Love the
I wear all
crystals.
this all day long.
Sometimes the star people have guided me to take it
Well,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, it's,
I take it off when I go to bed. I put them all under my pillow.
Well, the thing about it is that you know about the nervous system net. So every single crystal that we hold, it changes the flow of energy inside the nervous system net. How are you going to know if you are able to hold that emotion code if you always have the crystal on you?
That's
So
right.
what the star people have taught me is hold the crystal, feel the energy, feel the nervous system net shift, and then put the crystal down. Can you still hold the nervous system net in that flow of energy? After you do the energy work and like you come inside for a while and you feel inside of your body, every time you handle a crystal, you'll feel the energy shift differently. That is the nervous system net. That is how we are designed to work. The energy flow shifts. So, knowing this, when we start to handle the crystal, we can feel it and then hold it. Hold it more, and it turns into a waking meditation because you don't need your eyes closed to do it. We close the eyes just so we feel a little more comfortable working on the inside. But the truth is that you just hold the crystal, feel it shift, and now hold it and hold it, and then put the crystal down and hold it. And then after you like stop focusing in a little while, it may shift back in. Then do it again. Once again, certain crystals well, all crystals do different things. So if we're focused on the root chakra and you're identifying a red crystal like red quartz, then when you hold it, you may notice that nervous system that shift in the lower aspects of your body. Different crystals in the higher realms, let's say you're working with an amethyst and you're holding that, you may notice something inside of your head shift. Everybody's nervous system net works the same but feels differently because we all feel differently. That is part of what makes each and every one of us unique. So, once again, this is where we do the work. How does this crystal make you feel? You're the only one who can tell. You know how your nervous system net works. And, it could overall be the same for everyone with slight differences on some crystals, and that's okay too. So take it to a group and really go in deep and see how it feels. If you wear the crystal, and let's say you're trying to heal something, that is when you want to put the crystal on the body for more than 24 hours. So let's say you're healing a cold or something happens, put the crystal on. And actually, the star people are saying there's different alignments with the crystals. So having a ring, having a bracelet, having a necklace, and then even either placing one on the forehead or the belly button as you're doing a meditation, and you're all different crystals, you should really grab a crystal book because there's different alignments that you can place the crystals on to in order to heal very specific ailments, they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I sleep with a few crystals, and it seems like when I wake up in the morning and I look at them, it's like they're telling me hi.
Yeah, they do. They can talk. They're conscious sentient beings. They are. You can
They
have a whole
are. They're
conversation with
talking
them.
to me.
Yeah.
This just started happening recently, actually.
Yeah. Well, the Star people gave us a download. We'd have to find it. But the download was explaining how to activate one of our crystals into a 5D frequency or above so that we're able to start to, or no, it was a 12D crystal now. And and let me tell you something, we all know how to manifest. We know this already. Like, this is common knowledge for most people who are in the spiritual community. How to manifest, you think it, you see it, you magnetically align to it. What do you guys think happens when we start to manifest a crystal holding the frequency of 5D or 12D or whatever D that you choose? That crystal, then, when we're having the two-way form of communications with it, it's going to have very significant effects on the way we think, on our manifestations, on our biological frequencies. Once again, the crystals are conscious and sentient. They already know that they exist in 12D, and a lot of times they are so it's like, not that we're babies, right? But it's like their mentality is very high frequency. And so they treat us like we are learning, like we're children. And when we are of a proper maturity level, the crystal is going to help us dramatically, dramatically. And that's just like you're saying, having that two-way communication is you allowing the crystal to talk to you. The crystal can already telepathically communicate with you. But once again, it's very similar to the concept of the safety is on. So you have to be aligned to allow that type of communication to take place. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. The keys to my ascension,
Hey,
page 98.
beautiful.
My eyes are like a little blurry.
Release.
I,
Want to take a
okay.
moment and tap it out? So this is great for every single person watching, because then you can see what we do. Because when you're noticing your eyes have an imbalance, that means that for some reason your energy field is drawing your attention to your eyes. So what we do is pull our glasses off, we take our fingers, you guys clap, 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 clap. That brings the chi energetics all the way up, and it starts to activate your frequencies. And now we take the fingertips and we start tapping. And as we tap, we speak the words out loud. I love and I bliss my body. I love and I bliss my body. I love and I bliss my body. Thank you, eyes, for being healed. For all people watching throughout all time and space. Thank you, nervous system net, for allowing our eyes to heal, for bringing unconditional love into the nervous system net surrounding the eyes, and for calming down the fight or flight systems. We now are accessing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve goes to the eyes, goes down into the heart, goes down the neck, goes down into that belly. So what I want you to do is I also want you to rub your neck. I love and I bliss my body. If you feel called, you can also do light tapping. I love and I bliss my body. Now we're just going to lightly tap on the heart. I love and I bliss my heart. And take that all the way down to the belly. I love and I bliss my belly. Okay. Now, how does your eyes feel? Any better?
Perfect.
See? Anytime we have a feeling, what that feeling is your nervous system net shifting, giving access into an emotion code, because you said, I feel my eyes. That's a feeling, it's an emotion code. So in that moment, go into the eyes. And this is another thing that we do when we clear attachments. We go into the eyes and we ask ourselves, what emotions are inside of the eyes? What do I feel? You blank out your mind and you just allow an emotion to come. Whatever emotion it is, the first one that comes into your mind is the correct one. Many times you may feel like you're making it up. That's okay too. Whatever emotions come up or memories, how did that memory make you feel? And then you go through all those emotions one at a time, say the word release. The more and more we start to release the old emotions that are imprinted in these areas, it's going to affect the nervous system net. It's going to allow that nervous system net to calm, to heal. And now, once again, Mary, if you have any crystals that are purple, that would be wonderful to put on the body as you are diving into your meditation. See? A beautiful amethyst.
It's
Yeah.
a rainbow fluorite.
Well, you can see from here. It's beautiful. Love it.
I'm going to use my flashlight. I forgot my little light.
That's okay. Take your time.
The memory grid complex and multidimensional shifting. The process of shifting into a parallel reality allows the memory grid complex to go through a process of light blending into the new reality parameters. This may be perceived by shifting into a new reality and over the course of a few moments to a few hours or days even. The memory grid will also absorb the memory of that parallel reality version of the self, thus allowing for the reality's memories to become a solid awareness of the primary individual.
So, this is absolutely amazing. This actually did come up earlier for me today. So, the memory grid is your memory. That is what all thought forms flow through your memory. Now, the star people have described the string worker ability or our thought stream as one stream of thoughts as a frequency that comes from the right hand side. And on the left hand side, there are 5 strings that blend together. Those are your 5 different memory channels that then interact with the thought stream. They meet at the 0 point located in front of the pineal gland. Now, this is important to remember because every single thought that we have or experience that comes into our mind, it's being processed through 5 memory strings. The reason it's processed through 5 memory strings is because we have 5 fingers. Other species has 3 fingers, theirs has 3 strings. However, everyone is different. That's okay too. Now, when we talk about the memory, your memory allows different memories to come up in the now moment, but a lot of times people can identify that they may not experience access to the full memory. The full memory can be observed under hypnosis. What that means is when we put someone under hypnosis, they can remember every single waking thing in their perception. So, a person walking down a New York City street under hypnosis may be able to recall license plates, people's clothing, what they were wearing, shop names, things on sale in the windows. Every single thing that was seen can be recalled from the memory. Yet, it may seem as if the memory gives you glimpses, like you may not have the full picture. This is changing because the second that you take the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and you blend them both together, what that is known as from the Star People's teachings is energetic bonding of the higher self. The higher self controls the subconscious mind, it is directly connected there. So when the two become one, it allows you to activate your full memory grids. The memory grids are fluid in their nature. And what that means is that your multidimensional ability includes different extrasensory abilities, which allow each of you to reprogram any memory as desired. This, dear ones, allows each of you to go into a form of meditation, to select a new memory or emotional thought form, to reprogram into the existing memory grid. This is usually how it starts in the beginning. You then, dear ones, may change the emotional signature that your biological form resonates when that memory is summoned. Over time, this ability shall expand into a third degree, and each of you will, who are in alignment to receive that particular ability, shall be able to fully reprogram the memory grids of any item, person, place, or location coding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear star people. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
just thought of something. I told you to take the comments down, and now we can't see Facebook.
Oh, you want me to put them up? Here it goes. Come.
Yeah.
Let's see. How's that? Can you see?
Yeah. I forgot about Facebook.
That's okay. Hey, Facebook, you're back. Okay. So
Um,
much fun.
the next one
Okay.
is walking meditations and ether pulling.
Excellent. Oh, so the star people are saying when you implant a memory, um, not to interrupt you, Mary.
That's
When
okay.
you implant a memory, it can change who you are in the now moment completely. For example, and remember how I was telling you about the memory strings? What Tarek is saying right now is they're able to, like, if let's say I needed information very specific, what they have the ability to do is like modify one of the strings and put a brand new memory in. So, and this was a really funny one because someone asked a question about raccoons once, and all of a sudden it was like, I was home and I watched a 2 hour, movie on the life of raccoons and every single thing that they do, and I had access to all that information. So that is also known as an instantaneous download. However, they do it through accessing the memory strings, but there's other ways that you can access a download as well. The memory strings on the left-hand side, they just change the memory so that now there's a part of my psyche that experienced a parallel reality version of myself and took that memory of that version of me that actually watched the raccoon video, and they took that information and put it into the me consciousness stream now. So that is one example about how we can change our memory and then have access to new information. This is an instantaneous download, is what it is. But using the memory strings is one way of doing it. A lot of times we are taught just allow the knowledge to just come to you in the form of a bright idea. That's great for just allowing the knowledge that you need to come. But if you want to know how it's done, we use the memory strings because the awareness of the memory strings is of high value. Because now, what if instead of just allowing that one download to come through, the star people are saying, what if you pulled 5 downloads and you allowed those 5 downloads to download into each one of the memory strings? So now you would have the raccoon knowledge plus the location knowledge plus something else and something else. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's different abilities that expand just from having the awareness of the memory grids and how they work. And once again, that's only the memory string. The star people are saying the memory grid is all of the memories that are stored in your biological form. It is a singular unit of consciousness, dear ones, allowing your soul form to now hold a particular energetic resonance, which affects your memory in the now moment. However, your higher self has full access to all memory of all time and space, as well as all parallel reality versions of yourself. All of that knowledge is stored on a quantum codex. Each of you are going to be able in time to instantaneously download any thought form. That means, dear ones, that you may change or modify any memory aspect of yourself, including downloading memories from secondary individuals. Thank you. Thank you, star people. Thank you. Yeah.
So last night I was doing because that's what I started doing again. Hopefully I can keep up with it. 30 minutes a night. But it seems like when I'm doing the I have a lot of bright ideas come through as I'm doing it.
How
It
great is that?
it's awesome. It makes my whole body tingle,
Oh,
and I just start getting these instant downloads. Or you can do a video on this, you can do a video on that. And I'm like, okay.
thank you. It's
So is
beautiful.
that kind of like
Beautiful.
what you're talking about a little bit?
Yes, because you're connecting, and that's the bright ideas. And the bright ideas is affecting not only your memory grids, because the second that you have the idea, it's stored in your memory. And that memory is also connected into your heart. So all emotions run through the heart because the heart is has the fluid and the magnetism in its nature. So when we're starting to receive a bright idea, it's accessing higher levels of consciousness, which then has an effect on your memory grids. It's
Mhm.
beautiful. Beautiful. Oh,
Yeah. Did you want me to go to the next?
absolutely.
Okay. The next one is walking meditations and ether pulling. The consciousness zone of focus contains a multitude of extrasensory abilities, functions, and keys into parallel realities. The light refractal system allows for conscious shifts into each of the chakra subsystems. This
Mhm.
light is stemming from the higher self directly and may be focused for different reflections of light to manifest. These reflections of light may extend into the physical reality and shift density levels of any item or being.
Yes. So there's like two different topics there in itself that we could branch into. The walking meditation and ether pulling. Either pulling when you're walking and you're like getting in that zone of focus, you are able to call light ions into your field. They, of course, it's like a plasma base, but ether is more than just plasma. It pulls these light ions in and it recharges your aura field, and then it reaches into the physical body. There's different types of walking meditations that we're able to do using higher levels of awareness or just the knowledge or the awareness that we're able to do this. It's like calling forward a second wind. That's one thing that each and every one of us can do. We do it naturally just because we need it, and it's like whoosh, and it comes in, and then it's there. Now, what I'm telling you is, even if you have full energy, try and do it anyway. You tell the body, pull the second wind in, or pull more energy in, and then all of a sudden it comes in right when you need it. What was the other one? The light refractal system. Now, this is a big one. This is a big topic in itself because the center soul tubule comes down the physical body, and as each chakra has a vortex, there are three rings inside of each center chakra system. Now, what this means is the rings kind of resemble like a target, except each ring can be shifted from front to back and works very similarly to a magnifying glass in the form of we're taking the light and we are shifting it so that the light refractalizes out the chakra subsystems. Now, the three rings are going to make up the physical body. The secondary ring is your location ring. So, all people, places, and things outside your physical body, all of that energetic information is stored there. That means that if you go into the secondary ring and you change the flow of light, you're either going to add more light or release or pull more light in the body. When you add more light, there's a sweet spot. And that sweet spot is right where you're functioning at your highest peak capacity. That adding more light and filling the location ring into that sweet spot, it allows a full healing of all the people, places, and things in your life. So if you have relationships that are falling apart and you go inside the energy field and you fill that aspect of your energy grid with more light from that ring and moving the flow of light refracted out, then all of a sudden that relationship heals very rapidly. However, once again, we're being taught to baby step the process so that it's a blessing to go through the emotions and to learn the emotions and to have the human experience so that you master the emotions and we don't just pull the light and push it and fix it and very rapidly. There's value in it because certain extrasensory abilities require the emotional imprint to be observed. Observing it allows you to then manifest into that emotional resonance. 4, any dark emotion as you would see it also contains an opposite polarity light emotional frequency. Dear ones, when you walk the darkness, it then allows you to learn the light. And learning the opposite polarity of light allows you to master that emotional resonance. Full emotional mastery of the physical reality then allows the primary individual to drop into a 3D reality and be invincible, as you say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Thank you. Yes. Okay.
We have 10 minutes left. Did you want me to do another page?
I think we're gonna call it here.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do the shadow work Zoom tonight. So that is gonna start at 8 or 8:30. What time is it? Is it 8:30? 8:30 p.m.
7:30 Central.
I knew we were gonna laugh. We saved it until the end. It's gonna start 8:30 p.m. EST Eastern Time. What we do on the shadow work Zooms is you guys get the opportunity to ask individual questions to the star people, as well as we do different energy clearings, and we come together as one tribe in order to heal. Tonight, Mary is going to be bringing us through a breathwork meditation. However long it's going to be, we'll see in the now moment. And it's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mary, for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, and the star people saying anybody who would like to join the Shadowwork Zoom, please send an email to daniellelipton.com. When it goes through the email system, I send you a free Zoom link, and then you guys can come and use that Zoom link to join us for all of the Shadowwork Zooms. Excellent. And we are sending each of you many love and blessings. Thank you, Mary. We love you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.